Well, of course, in a technology-driven world, we want immediacy. We want things right now. And people love customization and exclusivity. So people love thinking that you've created a custom thing just for them. That's why those like Cloud CMA or a report on RPR, those 30-page color reports with your picture and their property address, and those things go over really well because they are beautiful, full color, and they're customized and exclusive to that home seller. So when you're providing, when you're online, because this is about creating online marketing that doesn't stop when you sleep, these are the things that you need to provide information about through your videos, through your blogs, through your social media, all of these things. Your social media, your blogs, and your videos do not need to talk about all the degrees that you got in college or how you sold 300 homes last year, because to me, that's awesome. But what's in it for me? I want to know how you're going to sell mine for top dollar. So, your skill set is a good thing to discuss later, but to get in the door and to make that meaningful connection, you really, really want to focus on your benefits. So in your blog, if you're using blogs to do that, there's a few, if you've not ever done blogging before, then there's a few different ways that you can do this. Okay. So if you don't have a real estate website and you want to start blogging, creating content online, you kind of have to evaluate yourself and say, is this something I'm going to do on a regular basis, like 3 a week, 2 a week, or is this something that I'm going to start for 3 weeks and then I want to run by itself? And depending upon your answer to that question is going to kind of direct what you're going to do with your content. So Active Rain, which is the second bullet there, they're owned by Trulia. And you can create a blog on Active Rain. And I believe they've got a special now, and it's $19 a month. And the reason, for those of you that aren't going to do it regularly, it is a great place to start because Google and the search engines reward any site that gets lots and lots of traffic, and then it shows up higher on the search engine results. So clearly, Active Rain being owned by Trulia, being a subdomain of Trulia, they're getting tons and tons of traffic. Trulia has Alexa rank, and I think about 94 or 96 right now. So that's a top 100 U.S. Most highly trafficked sites. So definitely you can leverage that if you're not a big writer, if you don't have your own blog, to get traffic to your site almost right away. So that's a really, really cool thing. So you might want to look into them. Blogger is another, that's owned by Google. So that's going to be a blog. If you want to put content out there, that should do pretty well as well. And then there are Playster and Virtual Results are two great places to get to create a real estate website that traffics really, really well on the search results pages. These are very highly respected companies. Jim Marks, who owns Virtual Results, he is like the SEO gurus since the 2000s. So he's been following things and making changes, and they actually will create some content for your site. And Playster is run by Seth Price, and that they create these gorgeous websites, very affordable, that also rank really, really well and traffic really, really well in the search results. But if you want to do something on your own and original, then you probably want to look to WordPress. See, a blog is a website, but the difference between a blog and what's called a static website is that the bots or the search engines or the things that go on in cyberspace, they know the difference between a blog, which is like a newspaper or a magazine, something where content changes every day all the time, and a website, which you put up the content once and it never changes. And so when they go out, these little invisible things in cyberspace, and they look at what's going on and they rank things, blogs, because the content is always changing and new and fresh, those are highly rewarded and they're ranked higher. So even if you're not creating a lot of content, you definitely you want that rank because you want people to click on you when you're sleeping, and you're only going to get that if you're doing a blog. Or I shouldn't say you only are. you're going to have a better chance of getting that reward if you're doing a blog. So these are some of the options available to you. Now for video, you can create video, you can post it to YouTube, and then you can actually embed it. So you get like this little code. After you put the video up, you click share and you click embed, and it gives you all this gobbledygook HTML code, and you can cut and paste it. You can put it on your blog or on your website so that your video actually shows on your website. It's embedded in your website so people can watch it there, but it's really on YouTube. And people love how-to instructional videos. My own son was showing me yesterday that he created a how-to video on some sort of computer programming thing, which is very, very niche-y and very, very specific. And by the way, he's only 16. And he created this, I guess, about a year ago. And he had like about 20,000 hits on this little 2-minute how-to video that he created on YouTube. So people love these very specific things. We're going to talk about how to use very specific niche stuff to get more traffic, probably in about 5 or 10 minutes. There's Vimeo. That's another place you can post your video. People, I went to a meeting recently where someone talked all about how they like Vimeo. I like Vimeo too, but my theory is if YouTube is the #2 most highly trafficked website in the whole wide world, that's where I want my videos to be. So, you can make decisions for yourself on that. And of course, we talked about putting them on your website. So, you want to have a strong call to action, very clear instructions, whatever you create, what you want people to do. About a month ago, I went out to my mailbox. I wish I had kept it. I got one of those just sold postcards in the mail. Beautiful house, little description of the house, the price that it sold for, a picture of the agent, beautiful, expensive postcards. She didn't even tell me what she wanted me to do. She should have been telling me, if you want me to sell your home for top dollar, just so, like I sold your neighbor's home, call me today. I have buyers today. So these are calls to action. Everything you do should have a call to action. Get yours now. Register now. Offer expires tomorrow. You can see the urgency. If it expires tomorrow, then I better buy it today, right? Or no later than tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So you can see the urgency in doing something like that. And then once you've got that stuff out there, then you need to start to cross promote. And this is, if your mind is going boo right now, just wait till we go over this. So cross promotion is like a hamster wheel. So what you're going to do is these, in addition to your blog posts and your videos, you can take the same content and make little PDF files, downloads of booklets, reports, lists of, for example, a list of foreclosures is an item of value. Free photos on their property is an item of value. Free video, a gift card. But the top ones are the items of value that we're going to talk about right now. So you're online. I wonder if I have ebooks on here. Let me see. Nope, sorry. Let me go back. So online, you want to focus on offering. If you're going to write content or create content, you're going to focus on repurposing that content to give it to someone for free. So let's just say you wrote a blog, you wrote 3 blog articles about home staging. So then what you can do is you can put those 3 articles, you can go on Microsoft Word or Pages or some other thing, and you can use one of their templates and you can make them all pretty and then put your picture on it, and then you're going to save it as a PDF. And you're going to save that on your desktop, and that's going to be your item of value, so-and-so's articles on home staging and preparing your home for sale. And you're going to offer that for free, because remember, people want what's in it for me. So home sellers that are thinking about selling, they might want to download your booklet so that they can prepare their home for sale. So, so then what you're going to do, okay, let me put up this little circle here. So your prospect is going to see your item of value offered online. So what you're going to do is you're going to take that PDF and you're going to put it someplace online. So you can put it in the back end of your website, for example. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go on Facebook or Twitter or some other place, and you're going to say, download my home staging, my tips on home staging, click here. So that's going to be, your prospect is going to see your item of value on one of multiple channels. So you've taken the item of value, you've put it online, and then you've gone to your other places, maybe your video, maybe your blog, maybe Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you've advertised your item of value. So the prospect is then going to visit the landing page where the item of value is offered. And by the way, this is where you need Wufoo. Okay, it's WUFOO. So what happens? WUFOO. So the prospect visits the landing page where the item of value is offered and they sign up. So Wufoo is a free sign up. If you don't want to use Wufoo, if you actually want to pay to do this, if you want to spend money on this, you can use Unbounce. That's a really good one. Or if you have an account with MailChimp or Constant Contact or Infusionsoft, any of those, you can use those. Obviously, those are kind of much more souped up ways to do this. So the prospect visits the landing page where the item of value is offered and he or she signs up. Then they automatically receive in their email this item that you created. So you've captured their email address, because the only way they're going to receive the item is if they give you a legitimate email address. And you might not get their name right, you might not get any other contact information, but because they wanted your free thing, you're getting their email address. And then you can add them to the list, and you can start creating, you maybe have created some auto-generated emails, or you can start emailing them, or you can take that email and put it in Facebook like I told you and start marketing to them in that way. So that's how you create kind of a cross-promotion cycle that works when you're sleeping. And yes, there's a lot of work that goes into the back end, but once it's up and rolling, it works on its own, and you don't have to do very much to maintain it. So, it can be very, very powerful. So for me, when I look at the back end, I can see I only go in on Saturdays, and I look at the back end. I have my list in MailChimp, and I can see people that have signed up every day, and then I make sure to get them on one of my weekly mailing lists so that they get stuff from me based on what they signed up for and what they downloaded. So, so that's one way to do that. And then another end of, there's a real cool thing that I had lists of foreclosures on the items of value, and I was able to see if you use there's a product called RealBird, RealBird, and it costs $89 or $99 a year. And what you can do is, this guy that I know, I can't remember what state he's in, I think it's Virginia, and he offers free foreclosure lists. So what he does is, on his Facebook page, he has a button that says sign up here for my free list of foreclosures. And so what he does is, you sign up, and every Friday you get an email, and it's the same email every Friday, and it has a link. And the link goes to RealBird, to a search that's already pre-set up in RealBird. This is and it's only for REO properties in Virginia. So really, really cool, because he created this weekly thing, and he doesn't have to do anything to it. So anybody that signs up, they're automatically every Friday at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they get their list of foreclosures. And it's just, he set it up once. It's the same link. It's just updating the properties on the market. So it's really, really cool. So there are different ways that you can, use that and market with that. And those can be all automated to generate leads without you having to do anything. So the last thing I think that we're going to talk about is a little bit about search engine optimization, or SEO. And I kind of talked about being very niche-y a little while ago, and how niche-y stuff gets a lot of traffic. So I used the example of my son and his computer video, but now I want to talk about communities and hyper-local communities. So statistics, there's this guy named Chris Anderson, and he wrote this book called The Long Tail several years ago. But what he really discovered when it comes to marketing is that the more specific the search online, the more easy to convert, or the more ready to buy the individual is. So, for example, if I go on Google and I type in San Diego homes for sale, that just kind of shows that I'm kind of curious. what's for sale all throughout San Diego. However, if I go into Google and I type in Encinitas Ranch homes for sale, which happens to be a very small community of 200 homes in North San Diego County in the city of Encinitas, I already know I want to buy in Encinitas Ranch. I've already made that decision. Or maybe I want to sell and want to see what the competitive pricing is. But you can see how that very specific person, that's the long tail. It's more specific. So if you want to show up in rankings, traffic on page 1 of Google, and this is the webinar that we're going to go into a lot of detail on August 7th on how to do this, how to look up, how to figure it out, what your search phrases are. You want to be very, very specific because there's going to be a lot more competition for San Diego homes for sale than there is for Encinitas Ranch homes for sale. So why not shine with the people that are easier to convert by getting on page 1 for that? And the same goes for video. Make little videos, community videos for all of these communities in your area where you are the specialist, and you'll get traffic on those because people will go on YouTube when they want to buy in those communities, and they'll want to have a look. So that's what the long tail approach is. And as you start to write, if you create a blog, if you already have a blog and you're writing, or if you're creating video and you're thinking about keywords, think about being really hyper local, very, very specific in your content in order to make your stuff clickable in the middle of the night, which is what the goal is here. So the other thing that you need to do to search engine optimize really well is make sure that you have a Google Plus account. So if you have a Gmail account and you log in, at the very top of the page on the right, it will say plus and then your name. You can see it right here. See where it says plus Melissa? So yours could say plus John or plus Elizabeth. So you definitely want to click on that. You want to add your photo. If you do have a website, you want to add your website in the authorship section because you want Google to know about that connection. You also want to start to create, now Google's not like Facebook where you have to friend people and create those relationships. You can follow people and people can follow you, and that's not required, it's not permission based. So you definitely want to start following people on Google Plus, and this is what it looks like. So this is what I guess my page looks like, and you want people to start following you. And so I'm not sure if Google has made some changes to the search engine results, but they do reward people. They put them higher on Google if they are followed by a lot of people and following a lot of people, kind of like the same way that Yelp rewards people that use Yelp. So if if you're front of the TV tonight and you're like, oh, you're not really feeling doing anything, but you kind of want to do something that will build your business, I would just get on Google Plus and I would start following people that you know, professional people that are in the same business as you, marketing people, people that are interested in cars or tennis or singing or whatever you're interested in, shoes, I don't know. Whatever it is. And because a lot of times those people will follow you back, and that will create that, of course, all of that will help you shine on Google, do better in the search results. So you want to promote your channels on other channels. We kind of talked about that already. So you want to kind of imagine this as a real web. So remember, if you've got something on your blog, you want to promote that blog article on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. If you've got something to download, you want to make sure everybody knows that. You can even have all that linked on your weekly newsletter. You want to also use social sharing buttons because they increase your traffic by 150%. So this is just one style of the social sharing buttons. Other websites, might say like at the top, or Google Plus, or tweet this, things like that. And you want to track your results. Not always easy to do, but you can do it through Google Analytics. So google.com/analytics. So for me, this is just an example of what tracking. This is not my Google Analytics. This is an e-campaign that I did. So this is just an email that went out to 1,358 recipients. You can see right here. So these are what the analytics look like. So it was opened by 38.5% of the people that I sent it out to, which is actually pretty good. According to Jay Papasan, co-owner of Keller Williams, he said we should expect traffic between 18 and 23%. So that was a really high open rate. And then, so 521 people opened it, 32 people clicked. So within the email, there were things you could click on to go to my website. And so 32 people did that. 5, I guess, were bad emails. They bounced, and 4 people unsubscribed. So total opens, it said, was 701. So I guess that means people opened it more than once. And then I sent it out at 5 a.m. It looks like the peak time people were opening it at the most opens at 7 a.m. So that's just kind of, it gives you an idea, some interesting analytics, so let's just say I was going to send it out at 1 p.m. Maybe my traffic maybe it's important to get ahead of the 7 a.m. So when you look at the analytics, you can kind of gauge what you can do to increase your reading, increase your traffic, things like that. So if you're doing stuff for home buyers or home sellers, you could just have a weekly newsletter with clicks back to your item of value, which is on your website, someplace uploaded, real cool stuff like that, so that you don't, and you can constantly be in their face. So one of the affiliates that I know, he said this to me, and it's not rocket science, but certainly worth repeating here, is, you should do the same things over and over and over and over again, because today I might not want to sell my house, but tomorrow something devastating or something great could happen in my life, and I may need to sell my house. And I might, so yesterday I threw away the postcards I got in the mail. But then if I get another postcard the following day, and now I'm hyper aware because I need to hire a realtor because this thing happened in my life, there you are, top of mind. So people only want you when they need you. Remember the what's in it for me. So it's important not to give up, but to just do over and over and over. So if you have emails, you might as well do some sort of email newsletter. They don't take a lot of time to prepare. You just add people to the list. And once you've kind of got your format, you just pop in and pop out articles and text. So I would really, really encourage you to do that. And then, of course, to look at the results. So whatever you do, develop a strategy and make a long-term plan for each individual channel. So I went through a lot of channels today. And so, pick the ones you're interested in and make a long-term plan. Like, I'm going to do this many videos a year. This is what they're going to be about. I'm going to put them on my YouTube channel, whatever it's going to be. I'm going to put them on my blog, stuff like that. Things like that. I see a couple of questions. I'll answer those at the end. So, okay, so I want you to think about, what's your strategy? Is it going to be Facebook, strategic alliances? And the one thing I want to tell you about strategic alliances is make sure to have multiple strategic alliances, or don't just focus on Facebook for all of your business. So I know a woman in Anchorage. She was doing awesome with Craigslist. She was getting so much traffic to her website by pushing from Craigslist. She put like 300 ads a day on Craigslist, and people would go from Craigslist to her website. And so that's how we were getting killing it, doing tons and tons of business. Then I believe it was last November, maybe it was 2 Novembers ago, I don't even remember, Craigslist changed the way you can post, and now you can't link to your website from Craigslist. So that was like the hugest part of her business, and now she couldn't even do it. So make sure you have multiple things going on, multiple strategic alliances, multiple ways that you're going to do your business. So if one of them changes or is gone or isn't available to you, you're still kind of building your business. Blog post is another, of course, video. We've gone through all these and much, much more. There's so many options available. To me, it's never ending what you can do to generate business. So what we haven't talked a lot about is conversion. So if you're interested in conversion, you can go on melissazavala.com, and if you sign up, you can download Master the Art of Successful Real Estate Lead Conversion, which is a 30-something page book with kind of a recipe, a menu of how to convert online leads when they come in. So I'd urge you to do that if that's something that you're interested in. And if you have any questions, I went whirlwind through so much stuff. Each of the things I talked about could be 1 hour on its own. You've been really patient and engaging. I am going to answer the questions now, but here I'm going to leave out my contact information. Take down my email in case you think you're going to want to email me some questions. Do read the tips and tools on the melissazavala.com blog, because they're really, really going to keep you going, keep you moving forward with all of this kind of stuff. So the key is to set up some really good systems that work. It's going to take a long time to set it up. It's not going to be easy, but once they're set up, they just work on their own and they just generate lead after lead after lead. I get calls on articles I wrote in 2010, and people say to me, come list my house. And remember, I told you I'm a broker. I don't even sell. So then I give them to agents in my office. But that's the trust and that's the power of the internet and generating leads. So thank you so much for all of you here. I am going to go to the questions now. For those of you that don't want to hang out, I really, really appreciate you sitting in on the call, and I wish you lots and lots of success in 2014 in developing your business. With things changing as much as they do, I admire the fact that you're putting in the energy. Not many realtors do, and it's great that you want to get ahead of your business and grow your business. So let me go to these questions here. Okay, this is Amy's asking, does your contact have to have a Gmail account to use Google+? So Google+, everyone has to have a Gmail that uses Google+. So, but if you're that's just for Google+, but your email campaigns and things like that, they don't have to have a Gmail account for that. So for me, I'm following all of these people, other real estate professionals, people that I like what they're doing in real estate, people that I like what they're doing with their marketing, not just real estate, people that I like what they're doing with technology. I'm following some news stuff. And remember, they don't have to follow me back. So just things that I'm interested in learning about, staying ahead of, I'm following those things on Google+. And, okay. And yes, there's a question about rich snippets here. So previously, when you searched in Google, and it went away like 3 weeks ago, and I was kind of bummed about it, but you might have seen that there were these little thumbnail pictures of people. So if you wrote your blog, if I wrote a blog post on melissazavala.com and it showed up on page 1 of Google, there'd be a tiny little postage stamp size picture of me next to the name of the article if I set up my Google Plus properly. And that was really awesome, because the probability that people will click on the ones with the pictures is much higher than the probability that people will click on the ones without the pictures. So even if I was on page 1, if I had my picture next to it, the probability that people would click on it would be higher. And of course, like, nobody goes to page 2. Only 11% of people go to page 2. So you definitely want to be on page 1. So that went away like 3 weeks ago. So that's a total bummer. However, video little postage stamp size images stayed. So that's why it's now increasingly more important to do video, because the only little pictures on page 1 in Google are going to be those video, little video snippets or little video thumbnail photos. So if you want to increase your click-through, then you're going to want to do more video to show them up on page 1. Definitely community video and things like that. And I don't see any other questions right now, so I'll hang out for a second longer. Thanks again to everyone that stayed till the end, and wishing you just a great day and awesome summer, and I hope we can keep in touch. Thanks very much.